Generally speaking, if you ask somebody how their workday's going and they go, living the dream, they're probably being sarcastic, right?
Yeah, I don't think they actually mean like, it's the best thing ever.
But I was reading a story this morning. The headline was living the dream. And basically it was about how, some people generally do really like their job and they have things that they, more things they love about it than don't. A lot of times when you think about work, people just talk about the sucky things, but there's people that really like their work. But they said living the dream is kind of a fraudulent thing because even people with their dream job, there's that sucky thing about it that they just tolerate because they overall do really enjoy the job. And I thought maybe the simplest way to steal that for the Playhouse would be to ask this question. What is the suckiest thing about the job you love? You might be driving there right now. You might be 2 feet away from me and sitting in it right now. But you're essentially working a job you really like. Maybe you wouldn't call it your dream job, but it's a job you love. But it still has that sucky thing, the suckiest thing about the job you love. Simplest way I think we could steal this.
I know I complain a lot, but I've been here for 11 years. So
You must like
obviously
the place.
I like it. I love it. I do enjoy it. I think there are two things that kind of annoy me.
Does either of them start with a Z?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Starts with waking up so early.
It's a lifestyle. It is.
And Steven had to wake up early yesterday, and I said, welcome to my life, dude. Every morning. He's like, but you're used to it. You've been doing it for like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you never actually really get used to it. You know what I mean? I think kind of, but at the same time, like weekends, I used to love sleeping in. Not so much now with Brooks. I'm still waking up kind of early. Mornings do kind of stink to wake up. But then you get off early. So I enjoy that. And then something else, and it's kind of my own fault. After the morning show, and then I do middays, but we do commercials. Those are our voices in the commercials. Sometimes you'll do a commercial and you think it's wonderful. So I don't save them. And then they need to be redone because someone forgot something or the client doesn't like something in there. And they actually, instead of this, can you change this word? And so that is what gets me, because then it's like, now I have to go through, I got to find that music bed again. I don't know if I'll be able to find that. And then you just have to redo it. And and everyone says, why don't you save it? I've gotten better, but I used to save everything and I never had to go to them.
Oh, I save nothing. It's impossible for my brain to appreciate the fact that something I would send to somebody, they'd be like, we'd want to change. It happens now and then, but I'd refuse to admit that would happen.
But
I send it and I go, you're going to love this.
That's what I think every time. And I think this is perfect. And I don't save it. There's no reason to save it in my mind. It's so wonderful. And then you know what?
You mispronounced this obvious word.
Whether it's me, like a mess up I did, someone wrote it wrong, the client doesn't like what's in the script, wrong information got sent over, and then you have to redo it. And it's like, can I get it to flow the same? Can I fit it in that 30 seconds or a minute long? Can I find that same music bed? And it gets me. It burns me.
There's honestly less scary answers than what I was prepared for. I had myself braced from you. I didn't know what was going to come out of your mouth. So I'm happy that's what you had.
I mean,
it's what you were willing to say into a microphone.
I mean, if you want me to. The list goes on.
It's okay. The boss is out of town this week, Amy. Just be honest. You're living the dream. Overall, you like where you go, but what is the suckiest thing about the job you love? And you got to kind of tell us what sort of like realm of work you're in, too.
Law enforcement, being a cop.
That does seem like that'd be pretty high on the list of things that is like super rewarding, but then also I bet there's just such dumb annoyances.
Well, you got to kiss your wife goodbye, and it may be the last, and go out, and you might take a life. You might bring life into the world. You handle all the complaints. You never get invited, like, for tea and biscuits, as they say. When you pull somebody going 80 miles an hour in a 35 zone, and you're the bad guy, but in 20 seconds later, you're going to go knock on somebody's door and say, oh, by the way, I'm sorry to say that your son or your daughter won't be home tonight.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I can't imagine some of the conversations you get in. There's the ones that are kind of probably like comedically interesting, right? And you're like, I can't wait to tell everybody about this. Yeah. And then there's like, I can't wait to forget this happened.
That is sad. Someone said theirs is dealing with crappy people. Thankfully, the best ones make up for it. And another person said, I work in an office and my biggest complaint, the temperature. It's either Antarctica or the surface of the sun. There is no in between. I have to keep a blanket at my desk because I am freezing all the time. Same here. It is usually so cold in here. I was wearing like a furry North Face yesterday because I was freezing.
You were pretty decked out yesterday.
It was cold in here. I have so many blankets in my office because I'm freezing all the time. I had to turn the heat on in my office. It is so cold. It is blowing freezing air at such a speed that it's shaking my garbage bag.
Okay, that's intense, man.
It's intense. It is freezing in my office.
What is the suckiest thing about the job that you overall love it? 237. It's called text voice memo. I'm kind of like yours, and like I have not done a different job, so obviously I must like it quite a bit. So my list would be short. But if there's anything that causes me stress, and you see it when it happens, we go through like phases, right? Where it's like, there's a week where it's like, there's a thing or two happening that's like an extracurricular thing, but it's whatever. But then every once in a while we have that week or two in a row where it's like, I don't know how we're going to be in all these places at the same time. Like not being able to duplicate ourselves is often our biggest problem, where it's like, okay, so you're going to be at this thing at this time, and then the next morning I'm going to be at this thing, and then we're going to be at these three things this weekend. Sometimes it gets a little like busy.
We do have those weeks where it's busy, but then there are just some days where it's like, how did all this fall on one day?
Yeah.
And that's me today.
You got a lot of them, don't you?
I have a lot of things I need to do today. And it's like, I'm never going to have time to go to the bathroom.
I mean, I hope you get through it. I have a really light day, so I'm going to be out of here early today. I'm just kidding.
Well, maybe I'll pass some of my work on to you.
What is that sucky thing about the job you love? What do we see in Amy K?
Someone said, I love my job, but I hate having to act excited when someone says, can I pick your brain? Because I already know that means I'm about to do 45 minutes of free work. And another person said, I work at a daycare and I genuinely love the kids. But the thing that sucks, being sick constantly. One kid sneezes near me. Then another kid gets sick. 3 days later, I'm walking around like I swallowed a frog. I've learned to accept I'm just going to get sick all the time. Someone said, my job isn't hard. The suckiest part is one coworker who makes everything harder than it needs to be. Every workplace has one, and if you don't know who it is, it's probably you.
It's sadly accurate, I guess. That sucky thing about a job you overall love, kind of what line of work is it? What's the sucky thing? You still hanging in there?
I work for a daycare.
Which, tell me I'm wrong. I bet the suckiest thing has nothing to do with kids. It's probably the parents.
They tell me that I'm a babysitter. And they don't seem to realize that while I have their children for 10 to 12 hours a day, that I change them, feed them, put them down for a nap, and make sure that they're clean. And I do that not only with one of their children, but up to 10 to 15 children within one room. I do it every single day, except we're closed on the weekends, and I would not change it for the world.
Yep.
Someone said, pharmacy technician here. I hate it when doctors either say the med is covered or that I'll be ready when they get there. And someone else said, I'm a receptionist and I love my job, but the phone will ring and then I'm already on the phone and it's ringing. That's a personal nightmare for me. And then when someone walks up to my desk while I'm answering the phone and they start talking to me, I'm just one person. I can't have both these conversations.
I'm sorry. I can't duplicate myself.
Just let me answer the phone. I'll get with you in a minute.